Yo, what's up guys? Yeah, pokeaim here, coach of the Bronx Beartics with my Week 10 battle of the WBE. Sorry this is going up late. I was scheduled to play Kaycreigh on Thursday, but she was unable to play. And obviously she was busy with Worlds and stuff, and I went camping this weekend, so I wasn't able to play any of the time besides the time we scheduled. So, playing today, I don't know what today is. I'm actually just making the video, but I know my battle's going to go up after. Let's talk a little bit about the teams and whatnot. Shout out to my boy Gypsy. We work together, of course. And, yeah. So, Kaycreigh has, I think, two very annoying Pokemon. I think Mimikyu is amazing. Hopefully it can't break me. But I do think Mimikyu is very annoying to deal with, especially when you have, like, you know, Pokemon like Gallade that otherwise would just click buttons and get KOs. And it's something that can just break through my fat of, like, Bronzong plus Toxapex, depending on the Z move. So, Mimikyu is a big threat. But the biggest threat, I think, is Mega Houndoom under Sun. Now, the good thing about this is that if she wants to bring Mega Houndoom and actually wreck me with that Pokemon, she has to bring Ninetales. So, and Ninetales is pretty trash versus me, I'll be real. Like, it's not going to break through my Toxapex. Even if it's like +2 extra sensory Z, I don't care. Or like anything like that. But obviously Houndoom is the biggest threat with with Solar Power, Fire Blast, Oko's, everything. Like, just to give you an example, even a max Spadef, max HP, careful Gallade has a chance to die to Fire Blast in the sun. It's just insane. So that mon is definitely threatening. I think Lilligant can be a big threat too, depending on what set she ends up bringing, if she does bring that Pokemon. And obviously, you couple a Mega Houndoom and mons that, you know, scare Pokemon like Bronzong with a Pokemon like Garchomp, and that's my, you know, my ground resist. It gets a little bit scary. So let's talk about what I brought. We do have Mega Gallade. Mega Gallade, I think, has come to every game thus far. This is battle number 10. It's no different. But Mega Gallade just has some good matchups in general, just clicking buttons. We have enough speed for the Garchomp, and after that, the speed rises all the way up to Mega Houndoom, so there's no speed. There's no reason to have speed for anything else, but enough speed for that. Just max HP. This maximizes the hits I can actually take outside of Sun from Houndoom. Also a hit from Garchomp, a hit from Lilligant if need be. You know, an extra hit from Ninetales. Also living like a Shadow Sneak from Mimikyu after a little bit of chip damage, so maximizes that. Knockoff into close combat. KO is fully physically defensive. Porygon, if it's max HP Starmie with a Cobra Berry and I have T-Spikes up, and potentially Rocks, which I do have T-Spike and Rocks on my team, I can knock out Starmie guarantee with knockoff into Shadow Sneak. Depending on rolls, I don't even need Rocks. Just really depending though. I need like Absolute Max or something like that on both hits. But it's just a good Pokemon in general. Hits incredibly hard. Ice Punch is there for Garchomp. I'll be able to knock it out anyway. And didn't really feel like bringing Zen Headbutt because honestly, I don't like a move like that where I have to predict in order to hit Crobat, because I'm not staying in on Crobat, right? Crobat's going to hit me with Brave Bird and die. So I'd rather go for Ice Punch, whereas I'll either KO Garchomp, get super effective damage on Crobat, or decent damage on everything. Like, even if I get one hit, for example, 60 attack, close combat, does 93% minimum to Ninetales. So if I get an Ice Punch off on that, I kill it with close combat, whereas if I went for Zen Headbutt and I miss, I don't kill you out after. So Shadow Sneak's just there. Could also be nice for picking off a weakened Mimikyu as well if it wants to get a little bit cheeky and thinking it can knock me out with +2 Shadow Sneak, which it wouldn't be able to anyway, but only if it's like Life Orb and I take a little bit of damage. But Krookodile is the next member of the team, and if you actually look at Kaycreigh's team, Krookodile's dual stab is just really good. I mean, it's always good. It's Dark and Ground, but it's really good here. It can actually potentially late game Earthquake, especially when Pokemon like, I think, basically the Pokemon I think have to come if you bring Sun. It's Ninetales, Mega Houndoom, Garchomp, Mimikyu. I think those four are coming. I'm pretty sure Crobat's coming because I do have a Gallade, obviously. And from there, it's some toss-up, Porygon, Lilligant, Starmie, whatever can happen. But Krookodile just has a field day in clicking Earthquake. I have enough attack investment. That way, Knockoff, I believe, knocks out max HP Starmie if it's not running a Cobra Berry. So I can knock it out with just 52 attack investment, Adamant. I actually ran a lot of bulk on this thing because it's going to be something, like if I need to make a play and pivot it in on a Dark Pulse, that's a really aggressive play that I don't know if I'm actually committed to making. Because obviously if it Fire Blast and I go Krookodile, if that's in the sun, it's going to roast my Krookodile, man. It doesn't matter about my Spadef investment and my HP investment. But it's basically there because it can be a backup check to something like Garchomp. If she does bring a Garchomp and it's not Choice Scarf, though I think you have to bring Choice Scarf versus me, considering I have a Volcarona and it's your main feature. Maybe you'll bring like Choice Scarf Crobat though, or maybe you'll use like a Mimikyu that you'll hope will break through my Volcarona. Like if it's like SD Z Fire, which I think the other option that you bring versus me to break through Bronzong, Krookodile can obviously take hits from it. Like, it's not 2-hit KO'd by Outrage with Intimidate, not 2-hit KO'd by Earthquake with Intimidate, so it can take hits like that. And I believe the speed was just to outspeed Crobat, if I'm not mistaken, because every other Scarfer on their team is basically non-existent, right? Garchomp already outspeeds me. Starmie, if it's Scarfer, outspeed me. Crobat, if it's Scarfer, outspeed me. I didn't bother putting Pursuit on this thing because I don't like those type of mind games. Because if I lose because of that, I'll hate myself for that, for losing a 50-50. I'm trying to play these games in the sense that I'm not leaving it up to chance, right? That's a heads or tail. That's a flip of a coin. So forget that. And then we have Foul Play. Foul Play is really nice because it actually KOs +2 Mimikyu guaranteed. So that's really nice. Will help me, deal with +2 Garchomp as well if it wants to Swords Dance in my face. Though it will only be +1. Technically because of my Intimidate, but I'll still be able to get a hit and whatnot. And it just does more than Earthquake, so it's good. And then we have Stone Edge for Crobat. It's not going to KO Crobat, especially since you should probably bring a bulky Crobat versus me because it can defog a little bit better, like Super Fang and do things like that. But it does a good chunk to the Crobat. Toxapex is the next one in the squad. Kind of have to bring fully specially defensive here because Houndoom is such a problem with +2 in the sun with Solar Power. Just to let you guys know, +2 Fire Blast in the sun does the same amount as +2 Dark Pulse to Toxapex. Luckily, I do live it. Now, there are a few Houndoom sets that are very scary. Sub Nasty Plot can be scary because it does force switches. Obviously, just Nasty Plot in the sun with like Flame Charge could also be really scary, though I can't do much about that. But T-Spikes are really, really good in this game because it'll help me wear down Mimikyu, Starmie, Porygon, Houndoom, and whatnot because it'll be taking that 10% from Solar Power every turn anyway. And Scald only does like 20 to 24%, so it can't break a sub. But if I hit, basically, if I hit a Houndoom, right? Let's say we're in a situation where she has Ninetales out, I have Toxapex, I'm clicking Scald. If I already have a T-Spike up, I'm always clicking it. If Houndoom comes in, let's say if I have a T-Spike up, I'm doing that 20 to 24%. Then it's going to take Solar Power. Then it's going to take Poison, and it can't sub, it can't do anything like that. So Toxapex will still be able to 3-hit Houndoom in the sun because of its own ability, for the most part. And if it doesn't, I mean, I take a +2 Dark Pulse as well, which is really important with Toxapex. Knockoff is there for Violites, Culver Berries, anything really. And yeah. Volcarona is next. I'm running a almost fully physically defensive Volcarona. This thing can take a Brave Bird from Crobat. This thing can check Mimikyu, checks Mawile. It's a nice Magnezone check. I'm actually faster than Magnezone even at +1. As in like the fastest like a Scarf Magnezone or something like that. Magnezone's pretty good versus me too, like Electrium Z. So it's definitely an option. But just a fully physically defensive. After a boost with my Z, I knock out Garchomp. And if the sun is up, like I set up on Starmie too, it's also a nice check to Lilligant. Like, I can break through Lilligant with T-Spikes with offensive presence and whatnot, but like a Z Hyper Beam, like I'm talking about everything that could beat me just because I want to be aware of it. But like a Z Hyper Beam, HP Fire set could be a little bit scary though. Volcarona at full HP, I think should be able to live 1+1 Z Hyper Beam just because I have max HP. But fully physically defensive, can even take EQs from Garchomp if need be. But if you are Scarf Garchomp, you're running a Rock move anyway. But it's there. Nice Flame Body as well. Can be pretty, clutch maybe for Mimikyu or for Garchomp, for Crobat to decide to touch me the wrong way. But yeah, Fire Dance as well. Nice little boost. Lets me break through Porygon. I have Piloswine right here. Violite Piloswine. This is a nice check to Garchomp. This can help me check Mimikyu as well. I actually have enough defense and HP with the Violite that I take +2 Adamant Play Rough from Mimikyu. It actually does 49% max. That's a non-Life Orb one. It does 49% max, so that's pretty cool. And though I think you'd bring Jolly Mimikyu versus me because I do have a Krookodile, so you need to bring that, but this is just a nice little check to that. Spadef lets me take a hit from potentially Houndoom. In the sun, I don't know. Even if I went max Spadef with a Violite with Thick Fat, it's just tough. It's really tough. So it's just something to potentially sponge hits from Garchomp if Bronzong goes down, which it more than likely will, to a few hits. And I wanted something that could also just be good with Toxic. Toxic's pretty cool for maybe Porygon if I don't have a T-Spike up, but it's just good in general. Icicle Spear lets me hit Crobat and like sub Garchomp, things like that. And also bust Mimikyu's Disguise, but also do a little bit of damage. That shit might matter for like Shadow Sneak from Gallade, for instance. And yeah, just Ice Shot for priority. Last but not least, we do have a Bronzong, physically defensive, enough special attacks so we 2-hit KO Garchomp with the HP Ice guaranteed. Psychic is nice for Crobat, it's a cool Crobat switch in. Toxapex, Piloswine, and Bronzong can all take hits from Crobat if need be. Psychic is there for doing damage to Crobat, obviously, does a little bit to Mimikyu as well. And I do have the Earthquake because obviously Magnezone can come in. Like an Air Balloon Magnezone can come too, a Magnet Rides one. But I also don't want to allow Houndoom to take a hit for free. If I hit it with an Earthquake, it's going to die after Solar Power to like Shadow Sneak potentially with like Rock Drop or things like that. So that's like the idea behind the Bronzong and why it's on the team. But yeah, that's the team for this battle. Let's see how it ends up going. So I'll see you guys in the battle in a sec. Alright guys, so we are here with the battle and let's see what you brought. I'm assuming Mega Houndoom, Ninetales. No Ninetales. Magnezone, good pick. Houndoom, no Lilligant. Okay, so Houndoom is good versus me, but not as good without Ninetales. Luckily. So I'll always be able to break subs. T-Spike is good. Volcarona kind of wins, so are you Scarf Garchomp, or are you Rock Scarf, or does Volcarona just win? Because I'm fat. Volk. Mimikyu. Magnezone. Mimikyu, Magnezone. I almost started writing down Krookodile. Crobat. Houndoom, Mega. I'm assuming you probably go like Crobat versus me, considering I have a Gallade, excuse me, as a lead. But like, the reason I lead off with Mega Gallade so much is because it has a massive attack stat. Let's see how we win this game. So maybe Volcarona can late game sweep. Also, my opponent has a lot of trouble with my Piloswine. And actually, because my opponent has a lot of trouble with my Piloswine, I'm thinking, do I go that versus Magnezone? I'll see if I live the Z. 23 seconds, I got time. Oh, this Z gotta blow me back, isn't it? Yep. Alright. We'll go Gallade. I only have to switch out versus, like, Crobat, which she probably will go for, like, U-turn with and get in, I don't know, Garchomp, and then pivot out to Air Balloon Zone and Magnet Rise and do all that stuff. But, I mean, I lead Gallade for a reason. This mon has too much of an attack stat to not lead off with. And, like, I have pivots into most, if not all, of her Pokemon. Plus, like, Garchomp, what is this music? I have no idea what music I picked. So she leads off with Starmie. Not terrible at all. That's kind of just a free knockoff. Yes, I do, I guess, risk being burnt, but that's like the worst she could do to me. Especially because Krookodile can kind of Earthquake sweep my opponent. I think it's just worth Mega Evolving and clicking knockoff. I should not die to anything that Starmie goes for. Let me just put in random Z moves, but I know I won't die. So let me make sure I put my Mega version of it. It's probably like Culver Berry or something like that. Yeah, best attack is like Hydro Pump Z, does like 79%, so. Yeah, we're just gonna Mega Evolve. Did I click Mega? Okay, the button is glowing, so I clicked it. We'll knock off here. It's good to get like potentially Crobat. Like I said, worst case I get Scald Burst, would suck, but getting damage on Starmie is just really important anyway. She does go for Thunder Wave, and again, this is something I kind of anticipated, as I mentioned, but I can't get burnt now. T-Wave, and I do get my knockoff, and there's the Culver. Nice. So I can't get burnt, which is amazing. Get a beautiful amount of damage off. I did 50% with that, which means that Starmie is a 0 HP set. That is indeed a 0 HP Starmie. So my knockoff with no item does 66 to 80%, and then Shadow Sneak guaranteed kills. So I'm just going to go for knockoff again. Gallade is just so bulky. And getting rid of potentially the spinner and, you know, something that can obviously get rid of my T-Spike is really nice. And again, Krookodile is going to be my main win con. And also this thing threatens, obviously, my Piloswine and whatnot. So I'm not sure what exactly she wants to do here. She might go for Scalds. She might just try and damage me. I would go for Shadow Sneak if I got a higher roll. But I need like absolute max to knock her out at that point. There's a Psychic. I do get paralyzed, unfortunately. It's okay. Sucks because now I'm kind of in range of a few attacks, but still alright. At the end of the day. I just want to be really careful about that, that Magnezone, but I don't know. I feel like she won't be able to get up rocks versus me. Full power is a little bit annoying. That's Smash special attack, too. Yeah, nice. Alright, so we get rid of Starmie. Beautiful. Awesome, okay. So, Starmie is dead to Gallade. I knocked out Starmie, but I wrote down that it had Psychic after I knocked it out. Alright, so, not too bad. Good start. Getting rid of a potential spinner. Something that could take Earthquake. Obviously, Magnezone. Crobat's still a little bit annoying, too. I don't think Crobat can knock me out with any hit, though. And as long as I bust Mimikyu's Disguise, I have Foul Play to knock it out. So obviously, you know, getting the para is a little bit annoying early on, but I was willing to do that just to get rid of offensive Starmie. Thunderwave Psychic, what was the other move? Scald and Rapid Spin, or just no Rapid Spin? Maybe no Rapid Spin. Because Psychic plus Scald kind of hits my entire team, I think. Surf or Hydro Pump were also options. But yeah, I would have been at a little bit higher HP, which meant that I could have taken an Earthquake from Garchomp. And now, unfortunately, I will not be able to. Yeah, I would have guaranteed be able to take it. Helga. That sounds like Crobat. Garchomp. Okay. So, I'm actually going to keep this thing alive just as fodder and bring out my Bronzong. Because I don't think she'd SD in front of a Mega Gallade. Personally, I wouldn't SD in front of a Mega Gallade. Yeah, she just goes for Earthquake. And if she does SD, then she's probably like a Fire EMZ or something like that. We'll get up Rocks. I'm assuming this is maybe Scarf Garchomp, but if it goes for Rocks itself, then that means that... I want Rocks for Houndoom and Crobat, but if it is Rocks itself, that means, like I said, it's not Scarf, and that makes it just a little bit easier to deal with in terms of Volcarona, because Volcarona sets up on Magnezone for days, and it not being a Scarf might be the beginning of the end. So Stealth Rock, Earthquake, SR, EQ. I think this is one of the first times that Volcarona actually has Rock set up against it. I'm impressed. No, I'm just kidding. I do kind of just like the Earthquake play here. Oh, she goes for Dragon Tail. Okay, so it's a thick Chomp. I could have went for HP Ice, but... Oh, that is definitely a thick Garchomp. That is a hella thick Garchomp. Unfortunately, she does miss the Dragon Tail too. So I'll be able to get off some nice damage now with the HP Ice as well. That's a really thick Garchomp. I Earthquake because it caught Mega Houndoom if she wanted to be cheeky, and also the Magnezone. But it looks like my Bronzong might be a huge problem for her, because this is going to do a good chunk. Yep. Alright, so I guess that miss makes up for the full para. Not really. I get to my Piloswine too, which is actually really, really good. Because I can just Ice Shard here freely, I feel. Pick up a KO. And this doesn't let Houndoom set up either. So, fantastic for me. Yeah, this is free Ice Shard. And the fact that I'm physically I'm defensive as well, which means Mimikyu can't beat me. We have Garchomp in range of EQ, and that's something that I'm kind of going towards the end of. And I'm not sure if she switched out to Magnezone there. There is Magnezone, nice. Was it on an air balloon? Nope. Definitely still value every bit of chip on that. I'm assuming maybe a Magnetize might come out or a Z move. I feel like I can just Quiver Dance up and mess her up. So I'm actually going to make the Ajani play here. Of course, if this is sub Magnezone, that could be bad. But I don't think you go for sub in my face. In the face of Piloswine, I feel like you might just Flash Cannon. Magnetize, yeah. I mean, excuse me, Magnetize or anything like that. Yo, I thought the hair on her trainer was my Piloswine. Like, what the hell are you doing back there behind Magnezone? So I'll die here. But I'm close commenting, that way she can't sub or anything. Magnezone. Sub-Z. Thunderbolt at +1. With a Z move, that's just the... Giga Havoc can still actually knock out my... Well, Giga Havoc actually does not knock out Volcarona, so I can actually go Volcarona and Roost. After. Because I guarantee lift the Giga Havoc, excuse me. Actually, I don't even have to Roost. Why would I do that when I can just Fiery Dance? Yeah, there's the Flash Cannon. So, Magnet Rise has a few more turns. Ajani goes down, but it basically did his job. I want to say Volcarona now can be really good, but I need to be careful about a potential Z move right here. Now, Fiery Dance is a guaranteed KO on Magnezone, so I'm not sure how she wants to mess around with this mon. Now, because I do still have my Scarf Krookodile in the back, and Earthquake and Foul Play will deal with like Mimikyu and like Houndoom respectively, it might be in my best interest to set up here and not allow her to Gigable Havoc me. But would you be Gigable Havoc versus me or Corkscrew Crash? That's the real question. Because I'm thinking maybe I just Fiery Dance here, get rid of the Magnezone, and make it easier for my Toxapex, which kind of walls everything. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Even if she sacks Garchomp, I'm doing that. Yeah, because I don't want her to be a Z move. So we're gonna get rid of Magnezone here. Oh, it just barely survives. I get the lowest roll possible. She throws off a Discharge. Discharge cannot knock me out, but it can paralyze me. Yeah, unless she crits me. So unfortunately, she crit me there. But it does allow me to bring out my my Piloswine to pick up a KO. That really sucks. So I actually got the lowest roll possible looking at this. Maybe the 88% roll. But it's fine because Magnezone can't come back in. And Piloswine is still extremely nasty. Like, I don't die to Houndoom, and I need to get rid of this mon right here. So, go ahead and give me that. Thank you. I think she lived on like 1 HP maybe. Mimikyu, all I have to do is weaken a bit. And Crobat will lose to my Benalia. I don't think you can possibly knock me out, but I'm going to calc this. I just want to make sure this thing is gone. That way I can spam Foul Play. I really don't think, like, I ran a lot of calcs when I was building in the sun. Yeah, you cannot knock me out, so I'm just gonna Earthquake here. Cannot knock me out at all. And all I gotta do is break the sub on Mimikyu. Dark Pulse does not do enough either. Dark Pulse like barely, it does like 69 damage max. Yeah, and now we're getting rid of the Foul Play answer because +2 Mimikyu dies to Foul Play. After Rock's guaranteed. He does go for Destiny Bond. Ooh, okay. I like that. So I guess that's actually really smart because if she hit the Fire Blast, I don't think she could actually KO me with Mimikyu after. So I guess I took her out, but she technically took me out with... does that count as Houndoom's kill? If I kill myself, does that count as Houndoom's kill? Alright, so we bring out my my Toxapex here, and we click Scald. And then I believe my Crobat plus Foul Play spam wins. Or she goes out into Crobat right now. Yeah, I just Scald here. I just Scald. Because like I said, Foul Play is going to Oko everything, and as long as Mimikyu does not have a Disguise, I'll beat that. I'll be able to beat Garchomp as well with my Scarf Krookodile. This is a really fast-paced game, but it's also really close. Definitely picking up some surprise KOs here. If Volcarona didn't get crit, I think Houndoom still would have came out and just ended up killing that mon, and then going for something from there. Unless this is Z, in which case I actually have to probably sack this mon, which I don't even think if Z can beat this mon. All right, there's Brave Bird. 138 to what? $138 to 75. $138 to 75. And what type of Crobat is that? That's max attack Crobat. Go to Bronzong. She might Z-move me here. Keeping Toxapex alive is good because I can always, you know, smack the Mimikyu and whatnot. Yeah, she's just Brave Birds again. I think what she's trying to do is just set up with that Mimikyu in my face. But I want to make sure, basically at this point, everything dies to Foul Play. So I can just Psychic. That way she can't roost. What if it's Trick Room SD Mimic? If it's Trick Room SD, then everything outspeeds it anyway. If she sacks Garchomp to maybe bring out Mimikyu. Like I said, I always stand on Mimikyu because I have to bust at the skies and then I Foul Play sweep. So she might end up sacking Garchomp to bring in the Mimikyu. So T-Spike could have been cool, but I couldn't. Like, the damage on Crobat is so important. Because I guarantee a KO. First off, that's max attack. So now I guarantee with Foul Play, and I don't have to do anything else. And again, let me just calc the Krookodile versus Mimikyu. Yeah, I just 58 to 70% to not boosted. So plus 2, 117% min. Also, I don't know if this is Z or Scarf. This could also be Scarf as her answer to, because basically she had Dragon Tail on Garchomp. This makes sense. This is probably Scarf then. Alright, so she's sacking it that way she can bring out Mimikyu. So if Mimikyu is not Mimikyu actually cannot knock me out unless it has a Life Orb. No, even with a Life Orb, Adam and Mimikyu can't knock me out. Actually, let me put Life Orb on this boy. Actually, if it has a Life Orb inside of me, it can knock me out. But if it's that, I just Bam Skull to break the disguise. So we go for Psychic here. And then we go for Earthquake after, just in case some random set. I don't know. But yeah, once I bust that disguise, I'm good. Dun, 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 dun. Plus, I'm a really fat Krookodile, so I'll deal with Mimikyu anyway. Yeah, she does go for Swords Dance, and that's sealed her fate. So I Psychic into Earthquake just because they do around the same damage, and it's all just about busting that disguise. That has sealed her fate. And now I just gotta make sure she can't go for like sub or something. I should go down here. Earthquake. Shadow Claw knocks me out. Nice. We don't see a Life Orb. I go right out into my Krookodile. Click that Foul Play. Really close game, by the way. I feel like this is the least amount of Pokemon I've had in a battle in weeks. Click that Foul Play. She's gonna die here. Good B. And Garchomp should die too. Garchomp, OU tank. Foul Play does 32 to 39 min to max HP Garchomp. She wouldn't be any defense. You need some sort of Spadef maybe to take me on. I kill you with Foul Play. You also can't kill me with a fat Garchomp, even with a crit, because I'm a max HP 12 defense Croak. So nice. All right, so that was a really close game. Nice, pretty fast pace, but I think it was good. And I got my 2-0. So we are now 10-0. Kaycreigh, good game for sure. Really cool sets. The Starmie Thunder Wave was smart. I think a Johnny could have been a little bit better, but I was willing to basically, I was going towards an endgame Krookodile, as I mentioned. And yeah, Krookodile, that was it. Destiny Bomb was a really cool tech too to get through Piloswine, so Crobat would be more of a threat. But like even if she switched there, maybe out to Mimikyu, I don't know if I could have lost because I would go Toxapex. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. Because it would come down to her attacking versus SD, and I can also just raw, like Mimikyu also does not knock me out with Play Rough. So like even if she switched, let's say she SD'd, sacked Garchomp, went back out to Mimikyu, all I did was click Foul Play again, and Toxapex doesn't die to a Z move, and Toxapex knocks you out with Scald. So might have been a 1-0 if she did switch instead of a 2-0. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Gonna see if I can I think this is really fast paced. Gonna see if I can get her in an interview. If not, thank you everybody for watching. And sorry this was up so late, but you know, Worlds, a lot of the people were just not able to play, and she went there as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Shout out to Krookodile, and yeah, goodbye friends. If not, see you in the interview. All right guys, so we are here in the post-game interview, and I have Kaycreigh with me. She can say hi.
Hello.
And yeah, we just had our game. I just want to tell you, and I said it to the viewers, but that was the closest score I've had in about 6 weeks, I think, maybe 7.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even since week 1. So, like, I know I'm 10-0 now, but I'm just saying that was a really cool. That was a lot closer than it looked.
You know, we take those.
But yeah, I love the text you brought. Really cool. Surprise. What was the not Ninetales option? Was it because it just makes you weaker to like EQ and stuff?
Yeah, looking at it and with potential heat proof on Bronzong, I didn't want to have too much for you to be able to free switch into, I guess was sort of
I feel that.
the idea. And also there were so many things on your team that needed to be checked, and there isn't anything on my team that checked everything. And so some things just we couldn't fit on.
I feel that. I was running calcs when I was building with my boy Gypsy, and my God, Mega Houndoom is stupid good under Sun. I actually want to draft it now because after running these calcs, but like, you know, max Spadef. I was thinking about using a max Spadef, max HP Gallade, and I still had a chance to die to like Fire Blast in the Sun unboosted.
Oh,
like,
that's wild.
It's insane with Solar Power.
She's such a good girl.
I like the Stormy set. I was talking a little bit about Thunder Wave. I was willing to make that trade because, like, you know, my Volcarona, Toxapex, basically the rest of my team hates Starmie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was sort of a whether or not is it worth to sort of take care of the Gallade, and I mentioned this a little bit before we started recording, but a lot of my reasoning was sort of in the YOLO variety, where it was like, I want to do this thing because I want to do it. And
I mean, it wasn't a terrible option either way, because, like, if your response to my Gallade was close combat, I mean, excuse me, close combat, what? Scarf Crobat, I guess they are very similar. Close combat, Scarf Crobat. You would be taking rocks, you'd be taking damage, and you have no roost. So it makes sense why you want to slow that thing down, because otherwise, you know, I had Ice Punch for Garchomp. Houndoom would not knock me out without Sun. So it made a lot of sense why that was what you were doing. I like this Magnezone a lot, by the way. Also, I don't think the crit mattered now that I think about it, because you're analytic. I didn't even think about analytics. So the crit on I was like I was a fat Volcarona, but I don't think the crit mattered now that I'm looking at it.
It could have been a roll, depending. When I was running calcs too, but depending on how much special defense investment you had, it could have been a roll.
Yeah, it was 4. So I don't.
Oh, okay.
Because Thunderbolt had a chance to knock me out, but now that I think about analytic, that did not matter at all. So I apologize about the Dragon Tail miss, and then I got the perfect Pokemon in, like, at that point too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
Palisade. There you can go.
It's the game.
Yeah, yeah. Palisade was one of those mons where, like, you know, Sun Tzu, attack where your opponent can't defend, and that was just a mon that could just come in and do damage. In reality, I probably should have Earthquaked on the Garchomp answer, but like, because that mon does not die to anything, I just felt why be risky. But I think you definitely played it well. I like the surprise Destiny Bond tech on Houndoom. That more than likely would have caught my Toxapex if that was what you were aiming for, or even just Palisade in general.
Yeah, it was just a giant red button. Like, if you need to just get out of there, that's what it was. I do wish the Houndoom could have done more. Yeah. But I didn't want to switch anything into the potential Earthquake or potential Ice Shard, and it seemed to make the most sense.
No, I feel that. I was thinking about it at the end, because I ran like a max HP Krookodile. I was like, I only had 52 attack investment. The rest was like HP defense and things like that. Like, even if you switched the Garchomp, I was like, could I have lost? But if I it might have come down to maybe if you crit Toxapex with Mimikyu, because I basically foul play, right? I knock out Garchomp if you switched and went back up to Mimikyu, and then you brought it back in. You play rough, knock me out, because you can't SD in my face. I'll knock you out. I just showed foul play, and then yeah, if Toxapex maybe got crit, I'm not sure, because I'm max Spadef, because I was super paranoid.
Well, I had the Ghost EMZ for the Toxapex. Yeah. I guess it may have still needed to be a crit.
Yeah, because just Pex is fat.
Yeah, chunky.
Yeah, I also, so I've said this a lot, and you obviously know when I watch the WBE on screen. I don't care about the result. I care about how people get there, because it's a lot more interesting to me, and seeing people learn and whatnot. I really like the play you made with Magnezone as well. Just obviously, I mean, maybe you were sacking it, but I could not set up. It was a situation where I could not set up a Volcarona because if you were Z, I'd die even if I quiver dance. Potentially Thunderwave and stuff like that, and I even though it looked like we were just sacking back and forth, it still made sense logically. I think that was the play as well, and it ended up working out because Magnezone ended up living the fiery dance and knocking out my Volk. So that was really, and Volk could have been annoying in the sense that I could have sacked it for Flame Body, potentially burnt Mimikyu or Crobat or something. So I like that. I like those plays. I like plays like that.
I actually did think so. I figured it could have been a sack, but I also thought that I was running the Fire Parry.
Oh.
Because I think that was on it at some point, and having only one monitor, I can't look at everything that exists.
Yeah.
But there was, I think, part of me that it was like, oh yeah, I got the Fire Parry. And not.
I really like this set though. Chapel Berry, HP Flying for my Loom, could catch my Gallade as well. I like the squad that I was most fearing, because I wasn't sure exactly what you bring, but I was like, okay, Garchomp's coming, Mega Houndoom's coming, Crobat should come, Mimikyu should come, and I was thinking Ninetales, and I'll be serious, the mon I was fearing even more than potentially a sub Houndoom is Quiver Dance Lilligant, because out of all the Pokemon on your team, it's the only one that really sets up on Krookodile, and like an HP Fire Z Hyper Beam set, basically that let you cover Volcarona and also my Bronzong. Obviously, like you said, Heat Proof was probably something that scared you a bit in that regard, but I
figured with as much firepower as I had, I knew it was actually on the Garchomp switch. I clicked Earthquake, hoping that it would be Levitate, so I could just know what it was.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Otherwise, I would have probably my switch right there would have been Pilot's one if I was Heat Proof. So
sure.
That definitely was the play. What else? I think, only thing could have been different is if I didn't get paired with Gallade versus Starmie, you probably would have been forced to go out to either Mimikyu or Crobat earlier. But that's about it. Because
I think it would have been Crobat.
Yeah, and Crobat made a lot more sense because again, that's something it's harder for me to switch into. It gives me in Bronzong. If you go for U-turn, you can get into Doom or Magnezone or Mimikyu.
Right.
Why do I always forget about Anal? I don't think I would have even tried to switch if I had Bronzong. My God, I'm bad. I don't think I would have tried to switch if I had Bronzong out versus that. I mean, it's not even that I wouldn't try. I don't think I could have switched. I don't know my answer to this.
The only reason that I even think about Analytic is because I have 3 Mons on it with my team because P2, Starmie, and Magnezone. But I don't even think about it other than that.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a great. But the Magnezone's a great Pokemon. I think you use Sturdy as well, right? At some point with leftovers to get back.
Yeah,
that was really.
Yeah,
cool.
It was actually against. Oh, I don't remember who it was against. It was one of the T Therian or whatever I have the worst time keeping those.
Tornadus or Landorus, maybe Landorus.
Yeah, one of those. It was one of those.
I think on our side we only have Torn, or maybe it would have been Thunderous as well. We have one of those too. But yeah.
Thunderous. There we go. Got it.
It was a really fun game. I really did enjoy it. Thank you for it.
Yeah. No, thank you. I love your team. Just even looking at it, Krookodile is one of my favorites, and I did not know how scary Mega Gallade was until we were trying to run calcs to figure out what we were gonna do about it.
I actually I used Adamant once this season, but I didn't really get to click attacks. But I was looking at all my matchups going forward, and I was like, oh my God, Adamant Mega Gallade is broken. That a lot of times I'm forced to not run it because of Garchomp. I want to outspeed that. Even though you'd only be running enough speed for Volcarona or something, but also maybe to creep an Adamant Gallade as well. So I have to run a certain speed tier, but this mon is the problem switching to it. I would compare it to your Houndoom and Sun almost. I think your Houndoom and Sun is just a little bit scarier personally, but
I think that with the fact that Gallade gets so many different coverage moves, it's pretty comparable because Houndoom does a couple things, but they're all really strong under Sun.
Yeah.
But Gallade...
they're straightforward.
Yeah, Gallade, you can have, I mean, Ice Punch, you have so many different types of moves and things that, like, I didn't know what you were going to bring.
No, that's true. No, that's definitely true. I actually wasn't sure either. I wanted to bring Sub, whatever, but then Infiltrator Crobat. I like what you brought, though. I definitely like the team. And I think that endgame Mimikyu was the way that Mimikyu is supposed to be played versus my squad. And the Destiny Bond was such a fantastic, like, it was such a fantastic turn for you because otherwise, I basically guarantee I bust Mimikyu's Disguise or kill Garchomp or get, like, nice chip off on Crobat. So that was a really cool bring. I like that a lot. But,
hey, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, guys, you guys can check out Kaycreigh if you want. You can see her side. Her link will be down below. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.